Welcome to Veil of Shadows, Book 1, The Amulet of Shadows, by Marie Mayer. Chapter 13, Strain in the Counterweight. The amulet did not cool that night. It did not flare either. It remained at a steady, feverish warmth, as if holding a line too thin to relax. Elara sat at the kitchen table long after Reese had retreated to the front room. The charcoal map of nodes still lay spread before her. Manor, grove, river, burial rise, ridge. The arc they formed was no longer theoretical. She could feel the spaces between them now. Not empty, charged. The lattice beneath the earth had quieted since the ridge. But quiet did not mean gone. It felt coiled, recalculating. She pressed her fingers to the amulet. It pulsed faintly in response. "How much can you hold?" she whispered. The metal did not answer. It had not been forged to destroy the throne, only to counter it. Countering required constant balance, and balance was not effortless. A faint tremor moved through her hand. She withdrew it slowly. Fatigue had settled into her bones, not dramatic, not collapsing. A subtle thinning of strength, like water worn slowly through stone. The lattice was not attacking. It was pressing in increments, testing endurance. She stood abruptly. Stillness would not help. She stepped outside. The night air felt deceptively calm. The fields had regained most of their green, but the land held itself cautiously, as if waiting for the next tightening. Elara walked beyond the hedges and into the open field behind the manor. The sky was clear, stars scattered in cold brilliance. The western hills were dark silhouettes. The fragment beneath the ridge did not stir. But she felt something else. North. Faint. Not the burial rise. Further still. Beyond the outer boundary of town. Her breath tightened. She closed her eyes and reached. The lattice threads responded faintly. A new node was not forming. An old seam was thinning. The crown did not need fresh anchors if older fractures weakened. Her pulse quickened. She had been holding too close to home. The network extended beyond her land entirely. She was guarding one fracture point, but others lay outside her reach. Her knees buckled slightly. The amulet flared in warning. Pain shot through her chest. Not sharp, but compressing. She gasped and dropped to one knee in the field. The counterweight was straining, not from a single alignment attempt, from cumulative pressure. The lattice was not attacking in force. It was stretching the ring thin across distance. "Elara!" Reese's voice cut through the dark. He reached her in seconds, kneeling beside her in the grass. What happened? She shook her head once, breath uneven. "It's wider," she whispered. "The ring isn't just here." His hand hovered near her shoulder, but did not touch her immediately. "Where?" "North, and further west." She swallowed. "The fragments weren't all near the grove?" He exhaled slowly. "That means we can't disrupt them all." "No." The word felt heavy. The amulet's heat intensified again, responding to the distant thinning seam. She felt the inward pull faintly, not toward the manor, not toward the ridge, toward somewhere she could not see. The lattice was attempting alignment beyond her immediate interference. Her hands trembled. Reese placed his palm against her back, steady and grounding. "Breathe," he murmured. She forced air into her lungs. The amulet's heat fluctuated, surging, then easing, then surging again. It was compensating for distance. The farther the seam, the thinner the counter. This was the weakness. The ring had once distributed the fracture across multiple guardians. Now she stood alone at one node. The lattice was discovering the limits of that. Her vision blurred briefly. The field around her shimmered faintly at the edges. "Elara." She focused on his voice. The inward pull intensified once more, probing, not at her land, but at her will. If she could not reach that distant seam, if she could not disrupt it, she could gather instead. Become the center, eliminate the need for distance entirely. Her shadow flickered along the grass. The temptation was sharper this time. Not structural curiosity, relief. If she stepped into the lattice, the strain would stop. The network would stabilize. The amulet would no longer burn. Everything would align. Her jaw clenched. No! The word came through teeth. The amulet flared outward in response, heat expanding through her chest and down her arms. Not toward the distant seam. Outward, into the field around her. The grass shivered faintly. The inward pull faltered. She was not meant to dominate the entire ring. She was meant to hold her fracture. The lattice would either align fully or remain incomplete. She would not accelerate it to ease her own strain. The distant seam's pressure wavered, then eased. Not broken, but no longer intensifying. Elara sagged forward, catching herself with both hands in the grass. The amulet cooled gradually. Rhys's grip tightened slightly at her back. "You can't keep doing this alone," he said quietly. She did not argue. The truth lay bare between them. The ring had once required tending, not a single counterweight, a system. Her mother had known. The amulet had been hidden here because this fracture point mattered, but it was not the only one. Elara pushed herself upright slowly. The night felt thinner now, not peaceful, but suspended. "They're not just activating nodes," she said softly. "They're stressing the fractures." Rhys nodded grimly, trying to find the weakest seam. "Yes." She looked toward the distant northern dark. The lattice had tested her endurance, measured her radius. It had learned something tonight. That the counterweight had limits, that dispersion required presence. The amulet rested warm and steady once more. But beneath that steadiness, she felt fatigue like hairline cracks in glass. Not visible yet, but real. She stood carefully. "We need to reinforce," she said. "How?" She looked down at the charcoal map in her mind. The arc incomplete, the seams scattered. "The ring wasn't meant to be held by one," she murmured. Rhys met her gaze. "Then we find where it was meant to be shared." The wind shifted faintly across the field. Somewhere beyond sight, the distant seam settled into uneasy dormancy. The lattice had not aligned, but it had tested the counterweight and found strain. Elara pressed her fingers briefly to the amulet. Warm, resolute, not infinite. Balance held. But for the first time since the first stump had burned, she understood the deeper danger. The crown did not need to overpower her. It needed only to exhaust her, and it was learning exactly how to try. Thank you for listening. The story continues in the next chapter.